Right. So confirm you can actually see my screen. Yeah. So outside of her corporate career, she's passionate about helping professionals, especially women, navigate navigate complex career transitions with confidence. She serves as a mentor. I'm trying to admit everyone. She serves as a mentor in a number of nonprofit organizations where she supports the growth and development of early to mid career professionals through structured mentoring. Grace is also a speaker and facilitator, regularly sharing insight on negotiation, leadership, and work life alignment for working mothers. Grace is married with two boys under 5 years. I've just given her a cape at her back right now. Please, let's welcome Grace with different emoticons, welcoming her. And Grace, you have the floor.
Thank you, yummy mommy of the Career Mom Mentorship. So I see Anicia. Anicia is our next speaker. I see Precious. I see Temitayo, Omotayo, Oluwatobi, Loba, Adenike, Buluere. Ha! Let me, at this point, I think it's a good time to introduce my Nigerian name. Introduce you all to my Nigerian name, which is Amarachuku. Yes, so I'm Ghanaian by birth, but I was in class with about 2/3 Nigerian in my university class. So they gave me a Nigerian name, Amarachuku. And I think Nigeria is my second home. I mean, I just shuttle in and out of Nigeria. I was in Nigeria in March. Yes, and I enjoyed it. And so I'm happy to see a lot of you here, my neighbors, my people. I'm happy to see a lot of you here. So I just want to share my screen and um, maybe when oh no, is it entire screen or what do I?
If it's a PowerPoint slide, then entire screen. But
Entire screen.
yeah, but you'll have opened it. So you can stop sharing, open it, put it on slideshow, and then pick a window. Share a window. Yeah.
Okay, so a window. Okay.
Open it first.
Okay.
And then, yeah, open it first, put it on slideshow before sharing it.
Okay, sure. Let me do that. So, okay, I think I get it now. Okay. Is it on slide show mode?
Yeah.
Okay. But then I'm wondering how I can control it from my end. That means I wouldn't be seeing my screen, I guess.
We can see it. So you just press the next button. Yeah.
Has it changed?
It has.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you all ladies for being here today. As Yawande already introduced me, my name is Grace Nelson. I'm a pharmacist. And I've been in the global healthcare space for about 10 years now. So I previously worked with Pfizer Biopharmaceuticals. I believe a number of you may know Pfizer for the COVID vaccine. And yes, so I was with Pfizer for about 8 years, and then I moved to Chemonix. Unfortunately, my role at Chemonix was cut short because of President Trump's stop work order, because I was working on the USAID project. So my role at Chemonix was just cut short. So I was there as a senior program officer for private sector development. And I'm married with two boys under 5 years. And I'm not an expert in all of this. I'm happy that we have an HR person who may debunk some of the non-HR things I may tell you that has worked for me and the people around me. So maybe Anicia, I may just play the devil's advocate, but Anicia may come and tell you what Grace has said. Don't do it. But then I'm telling you, if you do it, it will work. Yeah, so I'm just navigating my career while raising my kids. And unfortunately, I don't have a nanny. Anisia says she won't. Yeah, so I mean, sometimes when we go for talks, when we go for summits and people are speaking, we just think, oh, they have the perfect life. Oh, it's because you have a nanny helping you. Oh, it's because you have a mother helping you. My dear, I mean, I don't have a nanny. I'm just winging it. Sometimes my mother comes around to help, and then when I come back, that's when I'm traveling, she goes away. So it's not easy. So we are in this together, my lovely mummies. We are in this together. I'm trying to find a way of, seeing myself or seeing everybody on the screen while sharing my screen, but looks like
No, you
it's not
can't.
working.
So come to this like the window. Don't look at your PowerPoint slide. So you can be looking at your slides from the window and just be pressing next. If you want to switch, you move.
You said I should come to the window.
Yeah, leave PowerPoint, like come to the Google Meets to setting, and so you can
Yeah.
see yourself and your people. So if you want to go next, it has like this cursor that you can be moving. Google Meet has that.
Mhm. Okay, please hold on. Let me check.
So you're on PowerPoint now. You're looking at your slide directly. Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted.
I'm looking at the screen with everybody on the screen, not my PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. So do you see two arrows on this screen where you can be?
No.
Oh no. Okay. I think it's when you're sharing from web. Okay then.
Oh,
You might just-
that's okay. Let me just go.
I just had to switch.
Let me see if this will work. Okay, it's not working. It's not working. Let me just go. Let me look at my screen and hopefully. Yeah, so this is just a picture of me, maybe my life in summary, so you can relate with everything. You know that, okay, wherever you are, whichever stage you are, I'm there or I've been there. So this is me with my two boys in the hospital. The older one wasn't well, and the younger one was so clingy, he didn't want to get down. Even though their dad was there, they all wanted to be with me. And then there's me again with my son who was refusing to eat. So, I had to do anything to get him to eat. And then this is me at Dubai airport with my first son. We went on vacation, and trust me, I wouldn't advise you to go on vacation with your younger ones if you don't have enough strength, because I came back so tired than I went, So that's me again. And then this is me battling postpartum hair loss. And that's the saying goes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So I had to cut everything. And then this is me with my cut hair. And then over here, my hair was growing and I was trying to, please give me a minute to sort something out, and I'll be right back.
So if you just joined, you're welcome. Well, you're welcome. Our speaker is Grace. She's asked for a few minutes, but she'll be talking about negotiating salary, promotion, and career advancement. And she's co-speaking with Anicia, who's also on the call. So just to know that, okay, there's something happening here. So it's not like utter silence. So we'll give her a few minutes. And I mean, I'm sure you joined with some questions. So in the meantime, if you're curious about anything, you can just use the chat box. You're just like, okay, now I have people I can ask. So you can just start putting your questions or probably your previous challenges so that when she's done, she can easily take it.
Okay, sure. All right. Thank you. So I was trying to get my husband to fix this thing for me because I want to see everybody. I want to see comments, and then I also want to see my presentation. But it's taking a while. So we'll just continue, and as and when he's able to fix it for me, we'll just. So yes, I was just showing you a picture of myself or the stages in my life, and this last picture is me with my baby at my back and holding a bowl. Sometimes I post very nice meals I've prepared and all that. Yes, I'm not able to even sit and eat comfortably because my baby will be crying and I need to have the baby at my back and I need to eat. So, just juggling everything. So that's just a picture of me with my baby at my back and the bowl I used in eating. So I'm just showing you this picture so that we can relate. Then when we start talking, that, oh, okay, she's one of us, we can relate with her on a personal level. Yes. So for those who are just joining, as I said, my name is Grace Nelson and I just started my presentation. So you haven't missed anything at all. Yeah. So let's go on. Okay. I'm still trying to fix this thing. It looks like. So what's our goal for today's session? I mean, we just want to equip ourselves to negotiate, to advocate, and to advance without burnout. I know we are mothers. I mean, the tendency for us to experience burnout is so real. For me, this morning, I woke up, I meal prepped. Thankfully, my mom is around this weekend, so she helped with bathing the kids and, controlling some other things here and there. But I can understand everybody who doesn't have a nanny, who doesn't have somebody helping, for the person to, wake up, cook. I tried to work out. I did some 30 minutes workout, try to be a good friend, try to be a good wife, try to be a good something all at once. I mean, it can be very, very stressful. And, as mothers, we may just end up relegating our careers to the back because we want to be very good mothers. We want to be very good wives, and then our career is just stagnant. So today we just want to equip ourselves to be able to negotiate, to be able to speak up when the time is right so that we can advance in our careers. So why does this topic matter to us as mothers? There's a tendency, I'm believing that everybody here is a mom or is hoping to be a mom very soon. And by virtue of you being a mother, you've been on maternity leave and you've had some career breaks, some 3 months, some 6 months, some longer. I've had a friend, or I had a friend, or no, I mean, she's still my friend. I have a friend who went on maternity leave the first time. And by the time she was coming back, she was pregnant again because she stayed home for too long. She stayed home for too long. When she went back to work, she's pregnant, and now she's on her third child. So you can imagine. Yeah, so as mothers, there's a tendency for us having career breaks to take care of our children. Sometimes not just maternity leave. Or Anissa says, we had a case like that at my work. Okay, please tell us about it when you get on the floor. Yes. Sometimes we take some part-time roles which slow down our progression. Being a mother is a full-time work in itself. I always say that. As women, if you're a wife, your husband will need to just renew the bride price should be like a subscription something. You have to renew it every year because this work, premium shaping, it's not easy. And there's societal pressure to settle. Everybody feels that, oh, you're at a certain age, you need to have children, you need to get married. If you don't get married, this person who didn't get married early, her child is now 2 years and she's still paying school fees. Auntie, is it your money? Please relax. Whenever the person is ready to pay school fees, they will pay school fees. So, there's societal pressure for us to settle, and, it weighs us down. But the good thing is that we can grow and thrive as both a mother and a professional. We don't have to choose between being a good mother and being a great professional. I have been there. My children are 2 years. He's even turning 2 in July, but he already tells everybody he's 2. So it looks like I've also just jumped on the wagon. I also just tell people I have a 2 and 4-year-old. I have a 2 and 4-year-old. And this year I've taken 2 trips. 3 weeks combined in January. And, last week, I just came back on Tuesday. Last week I was speaking to a friend and then she asked me, so when you're on this trips being a bad mother, who really takes care of your children? You she said the bad mother is quote unquote, because really everybody, the traditional woman feels, you are such a bad mother. You left your children and you are just around. And what kills them is when you're on trips without your children and you post pictures of you enjoying. Those aunties cannot stand it. They go like, so who are you leaving your children with for you to be a bad mother? The thing is, I needed to go to develop myself. I need to take professional development courses. I need to get exposed. And for some of us, we feel so guilty that we cannot break away from, that motherhood to pursue other dreams of ours. We don't have to choose. We can be very good mothers with the right support, of course, and then be very great professionals as well. First of all, before we even go ahead negotiating or advancing or thinking about promotions, there is a need for us to understand our value. What do we bring to the table? If we are not here today, what will they miss about us? What is that one thing that everybody will go like, oh, I wish Grace was here to do this particular thing. If Grace was here, this thing would have been solved. How do we understand our value? You need to audit our achievements, quantify your wins. That's one thing we don't do so well. I don't know if it's African, but especially in Ghana, a lot of us don't really, document our wins. And we have this, should I say fake humility? I don't know if it's because we are overly Christian. We just feel that, oh, let me just be humble. Somebody will come and talk about my wins for me. Auntie, nobody will do that for you. Open your own mouth to say it. And before you can say it, you need to have it written somewhere so that you will remember it. So you need to quantify your wins. If you're supposed to do something in 6 months and you did it within 2 months, note it down, quantify it, write it somewhere. And look, just have a book and write all these things. It will come in very, very handy. Trust me. The second thing is that you should know the markets. Benchmark using tools that have been given. Now there are a lot of tools. There's Glassdoor, there's LinkedIn. There are so many things. Find out the average time at Pfizer. I was a medical representative. Then I wanted to pivot into regulatory affairs to become a regulatory affairs manager. And then I was regulatory affairs manager for some years. And then I wanted to move on to being a senior regulatory affairs manager. I had to go on LinkedIn to check people who were regulatory affairs manager in global biopharma companies to check after how many years did they move. You need to have an understanding so that you don't seem naive when you go asking for a promotion in 6 months, in 1 year. Your boss will even think you're not serious. Like, really, what are you even talking about? So you need to know what is going on around you. Don't just live in isolation. I think some of us have this notion of, I'm a private person. I don't want to know what anybody is doing. I don't want anybody to also know what I'm doing. So I'm just in my space. And no, you will not get any award for that. Trust me. Know what goes on in the market. Be active on LinkedIn. Download Glassdoor. Know the salaries people are being paid. Know after how many years they are being promoted. The last thing, keep a brag file. I think it ties into the first thing. Save feedback, results, new skills. If you did something so well and your manager sent you an email acknowledging you, my sister, save that mail. You will need it when you are going to negotiate for a promotion and she says otherwise. Trust me, you will need it. If you do something so well, you're given a pay rise, whatever it is, have a folder on your laptop, Google Drive, wherever. Save all those things. One day you will need it. In Ghana, we have a saying that, keep, I mean, when I say it in a local language, you will not understand, but it's just like you keeping receipts, having receipts for everything you do, So that's what I mean by having a brag file. Let's move on. I wish I could open a poll, but okay, maybe I'll just give you a minute to tell me, what is the top reason you don't negotiate salary? Or maybe not just salary, maybe promotions, anything. What is the top reason? Number one, fear of losing the job offer. Number two, not wanting to seem greedy. Number three, you're not good at negotiating. And then number four, you always negotiate. So maybe in the chat, let me see, what's your top reason for not negotiating? In fact, a friend told me that somebody in a very good company told her, oh, when women come for interviews, they just don't negotiate. Anything you give them, they'll just take it. I'm like, maybe they have very rich husbands, so dogu, so. But me, even if my husband gives me, I still want that extra money. Okay, so Chebia says number two, she doesn't want to seem greedy. No, Chebia, you are not greedy. You are not greedy. You negotiating doesn't mean you're greedy. Okay, I want to see more comments. Ladies, please. Engage, engage, engage. Don't let me feel lonely here. What is the top reason you don't negotiate salary? Anicia says 4. She always negotiates. That's the spirit. And let me tell you, ladies, I negotiated sometime in March and then I lost the offer. Can you imagine? So for us who always negotiate, sometimes it goes south. We don't get what we want, but then we try again another time. Okay, Yewande says 4. She always negotiates. Uh, Olua Tobilo, okay, she says she always negotiates. Anua Luapo says she's fear of losing the job offer. My sister, the struggle is real. Shade says 1, fear of losing the job offer. I understand you perfectly. But my dear, if you know your value, trust me, even though you are scared of losing the job offer, definitely a good one is going to come. So as I said, I lost my job in February, middle of February, and I'm a Christian. And when Yewande reached out to me to speak about this topic, I was like, I didn't even tell her I'd lost my job then. I'm like, God, by the time I'm speaking about this topic, I should have another job, because how am I going to speak to people that when I don't even have a job myself? So I got a job offer, and then it was a Friday. I mean, as I'm telling you my story, please, I want to know the reasons you don't negotiate. Please put it in the chat. Bukola says 1, fear of losing the job offer. Temitayo says 2, she doesn't want to seem greedy. I love it. Someone says sometimes it depends, but between 1 and 2, not getting rejected. I understand you all. So let me go back to myself. I'm a storyteller. I tell stories a lot. I have a lot of personal experiences to share. So it was so when the people called me about the offer, we had a very good interview. It looks like I was the one they wanted, because they even interviewed me before the deadline. I think they gave a deadline of I think 28th February, but I was even interviewed on 17th February. Ladies, so there's one thing, there's something to tell you, that don't wait till the deadline before you put in your application. Somebody might just put in some killer CV and they wouldn't go ahead with anybody else. That's just by the way. So we had the call, and they told me what was on offer. And I'm like, no, I mean, I'm earning 3 times of this. I mean, I lost my job then, so I was desperately looking for a job. I'm earning more than this, so why do you think I'll take this? Can you please meet me halfway? She tells me, okay, I'll go speak to my bosses. And then I was very hopeful, like over the weekend, very pumped up. At least they'll come back with something good. And then she comes back on Monday to tell me, no, where we are and what you are calling for, what you are asking for, there's no way we can meet you in between, so we cannot offer you. In fact, I cried. Ladies, I broke down and cried like a baby, because I didn't have a job. And this is me. Ever since I came out of university, I've never for one day just sat at home not having a job. Right after university, I got called earlier to start what Nigerians would call NYSC. I started mine earlier because the organization needed more hands to do some work. So I just said, so I've been working back to back to back. So this, like, a whole month, or how many months was I even going to sit at home? I didn't know. I was just there. I cried. I cried not because I felt I wasn't good enough, but I was like, the fear of not knowing what lies ahead of me. I think looking back, that was what made me scared. But then I negotiated, and I lost the job offer. So that's what happened. So just note that, I mean, in negotiating, you may not always get the job offer, but trust me, if you're that good, or if you believe in what you have, another one will come. Lo and behold, it's been 3 months and I start a new job on Monday. And I love the offer, a fantastic one. And I am so happy I did not take that mega offer because I was desperate. Now look at me. I'll be so sad if I'd taken that offer and realized that, oh, in fact, I deserve better. So ladies, keep that brag file. Let everybody know what you are worth. Okay, let's move on. I think a number of you have put in your responses about the top reasons why you don't negotiate salary. As I said, yes, sometimes you may lose the job offer, but trust me, a better one will always come. Not wanting to seem greedy. Really, ladies, if your organization, I joined the organization in just 3 months. When they were laying people off, they didn't think I would think of them as bad people. 3 months, they laid me off. It's no fault of ours. It's from President Trump. It's stop work order. Nobody is going to have mercy on you because you are a mother of 2, you are married, you have children. No. So that's the same mindset you should also have when negotiating. Like, put all those mother caps, wife cap out and do a good thing. Not good at negotiating. There are lots of courses on LinkedIn you can take. We are here to help each other to just be better negotiators. And then I always negotiate. My MVPs, you are the real G's. Please, you always have to negotiate. That's the long and short of everything I'm saying. So now I'm going to give you some practical strategies in negotiating, and I've put there real life scenarios for myself. So these are my own emails, these are my own messages, and I've just blotted out the names of the people, for confidentiality's sake. So key strategies. Number one, don't ever share your current pay slip. See, I didn't know this when a company made me an offer 2 years ago, and they asked me for my pay slip. And as naive, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? I had to go into my email to extract these things to get the screenshot. And then I just shared my pay slip with them. And then they came back with an offer. I'm like, this is not an offer I would leave my current company for. If I'm leaving my current company, you should be giving me something that will make me run. You should give me something that I can tell my current manager that, Oga, madam, I'm leaving you now. In fact, if I can beat my chest to tell you that I'm leaving today and I'll pay you that 30-day salary. You should give me something good. But then they come back and say, hi, Grace, thank you for your feedback. Finally, we are unable to negotiate a higher offer as our proposed offer is a 40% increase on your current visit. So I hear there is a rule, maybe the HR professional pay you more than a certain percentage on your current visit, so long as you share your pay slip. And I've never heard it. And ladies, this is the mistake, a terrible mistake I made. And I don't want any of you here to do that, because I would be very happy if I meet you in Dubai, if I meet you in Mauritius, living the baby girl, living the soft life. And you can't live that soft life if you share your pay slip with that employer. So please, and this is when you are negotiating with a different organization. Obviously, if it's in-house, they would know your salary. So they will just go into their systems to just extract it. So number one, don't share your current pay slip. Just tell them you have an agreement or a non-disclosure agreement with your current organization not to share. And they won't, if they're a very good organization, they are not going to push you to share it. The best they can do, when I was moving to Chemonics, they asked me to share my pay slip, but blot out my salary, because they wanted to really see the organization, whether you were really with the organization. They wanted to see something, but really they wouldn't ask you to, I want to know your salary by all means. So number one mistake, don't share your current pay slip. Number two, don't accept the first offer. They always have some money under. My sisters, there is always some money that's when you push out that they'll give to you. So this is just some people who wanted me to do a consultancy with them. So they first came with a rate of $150 per hour. And I told them that, given my years of experience and knowledge on the subject area, I believe $250 per hour would be a better offer. Let me know your thoughts. And then she said, sure, we are willing to pay you your desired compensation. Case closed. And they did. I loved it. You see, when you know what you bring to the table, the people might have researched about you. So again, going back to keeping a brag file or showing what you are worth or showing what you do, don't keep it under the table. Nobody will see. When it's out there, lots of the things I do are on LinkedIn, they're on my socials. People see it. So if you're bringing me on board, you know what you're bringing on board and you should be able to pay for it. So the second thing, don't accept the first offer. Always push to be given some more. And then at a point, you may reach, because I'm from a science background, I'll say you may reach an equilibrium. I mean, you get to a fair point, a win-win for everybody, and then we all move on. Number three, anchor high and justify with value. Don't just mention an amount. Give them a reason why you deserve that amount. So there's another email. Yes, Anisha says, accepting the first offer makes you sound desperate and triggers question from HR. So our HR guru has even confirmed what I'm saying. So when she comes on board, she'll come and give more confirmation. I love it. I love that you are here, Anisha. I really, really love it. Yeah, so number three, anchor high and justify with value. So there's another email from me to another company who was bringing me on board. The first offer they made, obviously I rejected it. I had to push. But then I needed to give them a reason. So the reasons I gave them, I wouldn't read through everything. I gave them all the things my current company was giving me. And then I told them that given the level of responsibility associated with the role, that's the role they are recruiting me for, and my experience in health market development, I would like to request an adjustment in the base salary to reflect industry standards. As I said, know the benchmarks, be on Glassdoor, speak to people, not just in your country, not just in Nigeria, not just in Ghana, speak to people in the region, wherever. How much are they paying? How much are they being paid in USD? So that you quote, a fair amount. Sometimes even when you quote a lower value, the HR or the employer even feels that, this person doesn't. For instance, if the salary they have agreed to pay is maybe $5,000, and then they bring you on board and you come and quote $1,000, they even feel like you don't even know what you are about. Like $1,000 when you have $5,000 to give you, Yeah. So I mean, I justified the reason why I needed them to increase the salary. At the end of the day, they didn't give me the exact thing, but they gave me something which was very, very close to that, and it was a very good offer. Trust me. So this was my Chemonix offer. So I took it. Let me go back here. Now probably I'll just speak about it here. So anchor high and justify with value. And then number 4, sometimes the offer might be so bad that you would have to decline it. And don't feel bad. Politely decline a misaligned offer. So this email is a follow-up to this not sharing your current pay slip. So I told them that, given all these reasons I've listed, I cannot accept their offer unless they are willing to negotiate on a better one. And they said, no, what they've given is a 40% raise, so they cannot. I said, okay, I cannot join you then. Because even if I want to leave my company, I don't want to leave my company for this amount of money. No, where I am, I'm very comfortable. I've mastered the game. I'm able to maneuver my way around. I wouldn't leave it for 40% when you wouldn't even give me some benefits, So I declined their offer. But guess what I did? I took this offer and went to my current manager and told her that the company has made me an offer. If you're able to make me a counter offer, I'll stay. I didn't tell her I've rejected the company's the company's offer. I told her that, so my company B, maybe company A, and then company B made me the offer, which I had rejected. But then the offer letter was already with me. So I took that offer letter to my manager. I said, okay, they are willing to give me 40% on my current salary. If you are able to make me a matching offer, I wouldn't go away because I really love this company and I want to stay. I said, oh, really? Can you share it with me? I said, no, I don't want to share it with you. He said, okay, she will need to justify it and what. Long and short, she went back and she made me a 75% raise. So imagine I left for 40% when my current company could give me 75%. They didn't give me the 75% when I was there. They wanted me to come and, shake them. Some of the companies, they like it when their high flyers say, okay, I'm going. That is when they were like, oh, no, we have to treat you right. We have to treat you right. So ladies, don't be scared. Don't feel like you are being greedy. Okay. But then, that 75%, after a while, I was tired. And that was when this company, the Anchor High Justify with Value, that was when this company came. And what they were giving me was, I couldn't even quantify the percentage. And for that one, my manager knew there was no way she could match that offer. So she said she relieved me to go because there was no way she could. But then I had served the company, and I'll speak about it when we are talking about promotions. You have given your due, you have put in your effort, and at the point, the company knows that, we know you deserve this, but we cannot give it to you. And this is a growth opportunity, so please go. So I had a blessing of my manager and I left. Yes, so negotiating salary and promotions in-house. So what we've talked, usually it will be for different organizations when you're moving from one organization to another one. But in-house, you need to be clear. At the start of your career, ask what success will look like. Have a meeting with your manager. Okay, what is my task? Your task is ABC. Okay, so if I'm able to do A, B, C, D, E, what would that mean? Do I qualify for something? Do I get any recognition? Anything. You need to be clear on what success looks like. Yes. Track your progress and follow up. I believe a number of organizations have review meetings, all sorts of is it weekly reviews or monthly or quarterly, whichever reviews, you need to have it. Again, we will go back to having a brag file or quantifying your wins, having a spreadsheet, writing down what exactly you are achieving. And then during your reviews, you can follow up with your manager that okay, you said success will look like A, B, C, D, but I've been able to do A, B, C, D, E, F. So what's the way forward? Now, choose the right time to ask for these things. It is not when you are you're not meeting your target, you're not doing well, everybody's complaining about you. That is not the time you come asking for promotions, my darling. No, it is when you're flying high. It is when everybody is speaking about you. And for me, it is even at that time that if I want to leave, I will leave. You leave when the applaud is loudest. So that was my last thing. That was in my previous organization before Chemonics. There was this time where I was able to get some approvals in very short timeline. I was able to organize a stakeholder engagement meeting with various stakeholders. Everybody was sending emails left, right, center with my manager and copy. Congratulations, Grace. Oh, congratulations. I submitted some abstracts which was accepted, and everybody was just talking about it. And guess what? That was when I went to speak to my manager about a promotion. And that manager told me that, no, I still don't meet the criteria for promotions. So yes, I'm saying that choose the right time after a big win, but it doesn't always mean that you will get it. And if you don't get it, don't be sad or don't be angry. Continue what you are doing. In that way, the organization sees that, look, you are already driven. They cannot stop you. You are highly motivated, whether they give you the promotion or not. You will still do your job. And that's when you get a better offer, like I got a better offer, there's no way they can stop you. They'll just give you their blessing because they know what they did to you, my sisters. So I'll end it here with regards to choosing the right time. Don't wait to be tapped. Advocate for yourself. Ladies, yes, I know we are Christians, we are religious people. We've been told to be humble. When you go to a place, go and sit at the back and they'll come and call you to come and sit in front. In the corporate life, it doesn't work that way. My sister, brag. If you've done it, say it. If you are asked, say it. I did this, I did that, I did this, I achieved this within this period of time. Advocate for yourself. I will not come and say it for you. Practice your scripts before you have your promotion. Before I had that conversation with my manager, I was taking a course at China Europe International Business School, and we had been assigned coaches. One of the things I practiced with my coach then was how I was going to have this conversation with my manager. Line to line, how we're going, how maneuver. If she says this is where I'll come from. If she says this is where I'll come from. I practiced all the scenarios in my head, but guess what? It didn't go well. And that shows that we are human. I mean, it doesn't mean that the fact that you've been in this meeting doesn't mean you'll get a promotion next week or next month, So that's just about it on negotiating salaries and promotions. Now, career advancement and tactics. One very important thing is for us to seek mentorship and sponsorship. And I'm very excited Career Life is having this career mom mentorship for our women, because really we all need somebody to hold our hand on this journey. I've had very good women. There's this saying that women are their own enemies. Look, we are moving away from there. We are moving. If you're still an enemy to another woman, you are there alone. Trust me, you are the only person there. Because now we are helping each other. We are collaborating. We are forming partnerships. We are doing wonderful things. Women are no longer women's enemies. Yes, they are the bad ones. But in my career, even at the point where I lost my job, the woman I had calling me, checking on me, putting in words for me, sending my CVs to other people. We've long moved on from hold each other. Is you want to toe that same path. My sister, speak to the person. And it doesn't mean that when you speak to the person today, the person will just agree tomorrow. No, it doesn't mean that the fact that I'm here speaking to you today, if you send me a message on LinkedIn, I'll respond. No, there are a number of things on my to-do list, and just you sending me hello or hi and waiting for me to respond before you go on with your message will not make me, So if you're seeking mentorship, be clear on what you want. Yes, we are in a structured mentorship program like this. Outside the structured mentorship program, there are other women who are doing the things you want to do. Reach out to them. If they don't respond, give them some time. Reach out again. One day they will respond. Seek sponsorship. Sponsorship is somebody who has access to a room which you do not have access to, who can call the shots. When you put in an application, it doesn't, yes, you put in an application and you pray. But if you know somebody who works there, speak to the person. Go on ChatGPT. Type how to send cold emails to people. Send emails. They may respond, some may not respond. But trust me, when you keep going, one day, as I said, I'm a mother. My children just came in. And you can hear their voice, I guess. Okay, Trebia has a raised hand. Trebia, I think I'll finish soon and then we can ask our questions. Yes. So sponsorship, yes. So having a mentor and having a sponsor. A sponsor is somebody who can actually put in a word for you and you believe that their words will open doors. Upskill through courses and projects. Ladies, there are so many free online courses you can take on LinkedIn. Be part of projects. Don't wait for, something out of the blue. Some of you belong to trade associations. Some of you belong to smaller organizations. Join them, be part of something that will add to your CV, that would, improve your soft skills. I was telling some ladies who had been tasked with managing, so I belong to a group called the Lady Pharmacist Association of Ghana. I was speaking to some young professionals who had been tasked to manage the social media accounts. And they, at a point, it looks like there was some kind of, apathy. They were not just doing it as they were supposed to do. And I told them that in 2019, that's at the time, I didn't have too much to put on my CV. And I was the one managing the Lady Pharmacist Association of Ghana, account. And two people can be managing social media accounts, but the way we put it on our CV will vary. But I put it on my CV to create the picture that I had the skill of stakeholder engagement, stakeholder management. Because if you're on Instagram and you go on the Lady Pharmacist Association of Ghana's page and you send a message, I'll be the one who will see it and I'll be the one who will respond. The president might not see it. If it's beyond me, that is when I'll take it to the president. She'll give me a response and I'll come and respond to you. So that's a stakeholder engagement right there. That's stakeholder management right there. You don't need to be the PRO of the organization. No, in your capacity, your little capacity as the person handling the social media account, you're a very powerful person. Because one day you may just say something on that social media page and it will catch fire. The whole organization will come crumbling. So you need to, be able to take up some of these projects and some of these tasks to be able to develop certain soft skills. A minute, please. Oh, so sorry, ladies. I keep having some distractions. So the last thing on this is owning your story. Career breaks are your strengths. I mean, it's okay to go on maternity leave. It's how you craft the story. You are a woman. You want to be a good professional. You want to be a mother as well. You going on a career break doesn't mean that everything else came to a halt. Yes, you took a break to take care of your children. In this day and age of mental health, you took a break to also take care of your mental health. So please, craft that story very well and own it. Don't let two children, three children, not at all. When you look like you are timid, that is when they'll have the audacity to shame you. But no, my dear ladies, own your story, please. So the last thing we'll talk about over here, I'm trying to, oh no. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay. All right. So I came across this post on where is it? I've forgotten where, but I think somebody posted it, and I so much agree with it. To do this job switching successfully, you have to put at least 10% of your time into maintaining contact outside your current company. Some of you, apart from your current company, you don't know anybody else. It's just you, your manager, the people who report to you, the people you report to, and that is it. Please maintain contact outside the organization. Maintain at least part-time relationships with old colleagues, going to conferences, being active in professional organizations, meeting new people, keeping up on LinkedIn, and so forth. It is very necessary. Trust me. I've had very good offers. I think the offer I shared about a consultancy, I saw it on the people reached out to me on LinkedIn. Yes, so we are no longer in this day and age where we think, okay, social media is bad. Some of us have this mentality that, oh, LinkedIn is only for bragging, and a lot of the things people say there are fake. Please, it can be fake, but be authentic. Do what you have to do, and let it be authentic. If everybody is being fake, that's okay. Let them be fake. But for you, do what you can do and let it be authentic. Now, balancing growth and motherhood. Design your career for seasons. My dear ladies, don't, if you have to do something, don't procrastinate. Yesterday, I was speaking to a lady and I was telling her that she needs to go back to school to go do her master's. Because as women, we may just say that, oh, I will not have any child. No. I think I have 2 children. I've finished. My sisters, you will just be there. And this child from nowhere will just find itself in your womb. Listen, please, if you have anything to do, if you have anything to do, my sisters, please do it now and don't procrastinate. Yeah. So delegate, automate, say no when you have to. I've got to a period in my life where, listen, I love to delegate. And I've also realized that it's because people delegated things to me that I picked up certain skills. If you don't delegate to anybody, really, what skills are they going to learn? So that's the period I find myself in. If there's something I feel another person can do it, I just give it to them to do. It's an opportunity for them to also build very good skills they need in their career. There are certain things that you can just put on autopilot. It's the same thing over and over again. Every month, I need to have meetings with somebody once a month. Just put it on your calendar. It repeats every Saturday or every Friday or whichever day it is. It just repeats every now and then. It's automatic, autopilot. It just goes. Learn to say no, please. Don't be anti-goody-goody. Learn to say no when you have to. And define your non-negotiables. For me, this stage of my, you transferring me to a place, transferring me elsewhere, support or give me some kind of allowance to support my whole family moving. Yes, that's the kind of place I am right now in my life. And then tomorrow, so many things can come in your way. You might just leave sales entirely and go do something else. It's still a win. It's progress. So please celebrate that small win. And then finally, I keep saying finally, but the finally never comes. I'm hoping that, yes, final thoughts. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Trust me, if you think you are so good, don't think because you are so good, your manager will just give you that raise. You will have to negotiate for it. Ask, follow up, advocate. And then finally, lead by example for the next generation. My dear sisters, I have come to believe that when one woman finds herself in a position and she messes it up, she reduces the chances of the other lady who is upcoming. So that is one thing I have at the back of my mind always. If I'm in one position, I'll do it so well so that the next time you have an opportunity to recruit somebody, you may think of a woman. Because this woman did it so well, despite the fact that she had kids, despite the fact that she's married, despite the fact that so many things were against her, she did it so well. So as you go about your weekly duties, everything, just know that you have to lead by example for the next generation. For time's sake, we will not do this role play. I just wanted us to practice asking for a raise, pitch a promotion scenario, and then decline a misaligned offer. Now, what's our call to action? Think about this week. I want you to think about one move you've been hesitating to ask for, and then take one small action towards that. You can connect with me on social media. And then these are some practical tools and resources. Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. I love this book. I should have read it earlier. I only read it sometime last year, but it's a game changer. And then these are some salary tools and these platforms. LinkedIn is my go-to, sisters. I love LinkedIn. I'm almost always there. It's indeed a game changer for me. Yes. So thank you so much for your attention. Finally, I bring my presentation to a close, and then I hand over to Anissa.
Thank you so much, Grace. At this point, I think you've done real justice to it. And I like the fact that you gave practical examples. Please, ladies, let's respond with emoticons or reactions based on how you enjoyed this. So because of time, we've invited our next speaker, and I'll just introduce her. Please let me share my screen. Yeah, you can stop sharing so I can share mine. Yeah, so thank you so much for the time taken to impact. So we have Anicia. Yeah, confirm you can see my screen. So Anicia, her profile is long, but I'll just allow you read it. But Anicia is an HR and governance manager for Mozambique at the multinational in the oil and gas sector. She has over 20 years of experience in HR with a solid understanding of finance and administration. So that I don't eat into her time, I'm also super excited about this session as well. And Anicia will come from the HR perspective. I like Grace's perspective. Sometimes you just have like the HR direction, but the non-HR direction on what thing has worked. So I'm imagining Anicia has not just negotiated for herself, but she's had a lot of candidates to negotiate for her, right? So Anicia, over to you.
Thank you very much, Yewande. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm actually thinking, what am I going to say after Grace's presentation? And I'm asking, wasn't she seeing my presentation when I was preparing? Because most of the things that she was saying, it's actually what I have prepared for you. But as you were saying, maybe because I'll bring it in a different perspective, in a nature perspective, it might be, you might understand in a different way. So let me just share my screen with you. Please let me know if you can see my screen and if you see my presentation.
So I can see the Google Meet on your screen.
You see the Google Meet, you don't see the presentation.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's this, but okay, let me just.
So you can unshare, open the presentation, and
it
then
is opened actually.
The window.
Yeah, it's actually open. I just don't understand why is it in Google Meet and not bringing my presentation. Hold on for a second, please. Challenges of technology. But while I try to present, maybe we can take some questions.
Are you able to put this in the chat so maybe Yewande can present on your behalf? I think I should have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do that, Yewande? Because I'm really struggling here. I don't know what's going on.
I can share to me on WhatsApp or email now. Present.
Okay, let me share with you on email. Stop presenting here. Excuse me.
So please, if you have questions anyway, so we'll take all questions at the end. So while we sort this out, or if you even have comments, right? Please use the chat box.
Please let me know when you receive. I've shared already. But I can start speaking, mindful of time. As when I was introducing myself, I'm Anisia Manisa. I have a son, which was 18 years old yesterday. So you can imagine how my house is, because I had visitors at home yesterday and they stayed here until today. You can imagine an 18-year boy. And 14 years girl. She's going to be 14 in August. I am a mother, a very proud mother. My son is going to varsity this year. And I had my son when I was still going to varsity, but I also had the work. So I also had to take maternity leave. By the time I took maternity leave, it was only 2 months maternity leave. Imagine leaving a 2-month baby at home without a mother, for me to go back to work, because I was also afraid to lose my work, because I was just initiating my career. I wanted to succeed in life. I wanted to, I'm very competitive, and I also wanted to be, I wanted to position myself in the market. And one of the things that we need to understand in terms of how do you negotiate or how do you advance your career in anything, it's more related to your brand. When I talk about your brand, I am talking about on how do you position yourself? How good are you in what you do? What do you do, to capacitate yourself? What learnings are you doing? What sites are you viewing? How do you do your learning? It can be e-learning. It can be, you can register yourself in any learning, platform that exists. There's one thing that will always be something that is going to elevate your career. It's your knowledge. You need to know what are you doing, when are you doing, and why are you doing. I want to congratulate all the mothers that are here, because motherhood itself is a job. It's a 24 hours job, and it's not remunerated. You have to do it by love. We need to first understand the principles of the salary negotiation. You need to learn strategies that are going to advocate for salary and promotions, and you also need to explore pathways for career growth. The pathways for career growth is, where do you see yourself? What are you doing to get where you want to be? You need to understand the next role that you're going to. I had a vice president that told me, you know what, Anisia, you don't have to dress according to the position that you are today. You have to dress according to the position that you want to be tomorrow. And he asked me, what do you want to be tomorrow? And I told him, I want your position. So I need to make sure that you get promoted so that I can also be promoted to get into your position. So I was positioning myself, and I started working with that VP. I started learning, with that VP, sitting in the same tables where he was sitting. He started inviting me to meetings for me to understand what it is to be a VP. But if I hadn't, vocalized it and tell him that I wanted to be, I would never be in that in those sort of negotiations. When I say understanding the principles of salary negotiation, I'm talking on the HR side. You need to understand there's always a salary pay band. Grace was talking about 75% increase that she got. That 75% increase was still within the pay band where she was placed, but she would never know. She would have accepted 30% increase if she didn't have another offer that they would give her. So you need to understand that there's a salary pay band, and you have to have access to those salary pay bands. How do you have that? By checking on LinkedIn, what are the salary trends? What is it paid for the position that you are occupying or you are applying for? How is the market paying? What is that company paying for that position? Because we female, normally, we accept less because we think that they're doing us a favor. Let me tell you, moms, ladies, nobody's doing you a favor. If we, HR, invite you for an interview, it's because we are interested in your profile. We are interested in your profile and you do have value. So knowing your value and understanding your profile, it also allows you to negotiate for salary. You on the next slide, please. Most of the things that I'm going to tell you, they were all said by Grace. You know, how many of you know what are your personal skills? This is one of the most difficult questions that we have in interviews. When we ask the candidate, what are your skills, or what is your value? What do you bring for this position? Why do we have to choose you? You see candidates not knowing what to tell us. When you look at the CV, this person has so much to say, but unfortunately, this person cannot sell herself. You know, you need to understand your skill. You need to identify them. What is your experience? What is the value that you have to add into that position? Benchmarks, Grace well said that you need to do benchmark. Don't go negotiating for salary without doing benchmarks. Don't go for an interview or for a career move without understanding the benchmark, without doing the benchmark, understanding the market that you're getting to. Imagine that maybe you're changing industry, but you don't know what this industry is paying. You don't know what are the values of the company that you're going for the interview. So ladies, prepare yourself, you know, do the industry benchmark, check the salary ranges, you know, research. What is the employer's position? You know, you need to consider the budget constraints Grace was talking about now, that everything is getting shut because of the Trump's message and so on and so forth. So you cannot go to that company at this moment and ask for an increase, you know, and be careful if you go for an interview in one of those companies that were affected for that. How are you going to be positioned, and how will I say this in English? How secure is that job that you're going to? You know, you need to understand the budget constraints, the internal equity. When I talk about internal equity, I'm talking about you are a manager, there is another manager. How well are both of you paid? I'm not saying you should compare salaries, but you need to understand in terms of equity, where are you positioned? It is your right to understand where are you positioned in remuneration scale. So don't feel afraid, don't, you know, of asking that from your company. And you have to clarify your priorities. And one of the things that we don't really do well is clarify our priorities. Do you know what are your priorities? Do you know how will you put your priorities? What is your priority today? You know, you are a mother, maybe you're not in a market, you want to go back to corporate world or entrepreneur. So now you're putting that as your priority. But how does your children stay, you know? And how are you going to balance that? You need to have balance to do that. When you negotiate salary, remember I said I always negotiate offer letters when Grace was asking us, because I always do, you know, negotiating. It's, you know, it's not during the interview. Most of the times we ask, what are your salary expectations? You don't have to answer that question, you know. The best way of answering that question is just telling the interviewer that you believe that the company has, you know, policies in place, remuneration policies in place, and you should wait for the offer letter. When the offer letter comes, you look at the offer letter. Don't just look at the salary as such. Sometimes the benefits are even better than the salary itself, you know. You need to frame your conversation around those benefits, not only for your personal gain, because you need to show to this organization that you have something to trade. You know, the trade that you are going to give us back, it's simply your knowledge and your time. Because if we want you with us, we are going to pay for that. You need to, you need to be very clear and very assertive when you negotiate an offer letter. when you send back trying to negotiate, because you need to put up your skills, you have done your market research, you need to understand the responsibilities of the role that you are going to perform, and you need to put the KPIs or the metrics that are for that position, you know, because we like negotiating with people that know what are they negotiating, not just people that are throwing their luck. We don't, when we find out that this person is just trying their luck, we lose interest. And this sort of candidates or this sort of employees, they're not more, we don't get interested in them, because they will move for any other company simply because of a 10% increase or 20% increase, you know. Look at the full package of what we are offering you. If the benefits and the salary satisfy yourself, you know, you don't look for today. You don't negotiate offer letters for today. Don't be desperate. Don't look for offers that are going to satisfy you for today. You know, I need 15,000 nairas, 15,000 meds, and I'm going to negotiate for that today. What about tomorrow? You know, what is the inflation? How is the market? You know, all of those things, that you have to consider them when you are doing your career move, any offer letter negotiation, and that. In corporate world, you need to set short and long-term goals. What are your goals? How many of you know what are your goals? Don't tell me that you want to, you know, you want to be a good professional. That's not a goal as such. How are you going to measure that? How long is it going to be? You know, you need to be very practical, and you need to leverage your goals. You need to leverage the internal networks that you do, the visibility. Remember, I was telling you that I started working with my vice president because I wanted to be one of them. I wanted to understand, you know, the environment where he plays, the tables that he sits, the negotiations. I wanted to understand all of that so that I could be more prepared for that, for career advancement. And let me tell you, I've been promoted. I've been promoted 4 times. From COVID to today, I have been promoted 4 times. And when I was invited to join the Mozambican Association of Human Resources, I didn't want to go. But something just said, you know what, Tanisha, just apply for it and go. And guess what? Today, I'm the vice president of that association. You know, it's the first one in Mozambique. We want to change it into a bar of human resources professionals in Mozambique. Imagine how big that is. And for a young lady, and let me tell you, I was very shy. When I was young, when I was growing up, I was very shy. And when I got into a corporate world, I had to change, you know, because corporate world can change yourself. If you want to survive, especially being a woman, an executive, you need to be strong. And as female, we need to be even stronger than the male, because they're always questioning us. They're questioning if we're capable of doing it. We are emotional. Unfortunately, that is something that we female need to work on. We are emotional. You know, we allow a few things, you know, to get into our emotions. We have our babies at home. Imagine waking up, you've got a very, very important meeting, and your helper doesn't come to help you with the baby, and the baby doesn't go to school, and you don't have anywhere to leave your baby. What would you do in a situation like that? What would you do? So your supportive system needs to be there, because it's going to be very difficult for you to achieve what you're looking for if your supportive system is not with you. If you want to position your career advancement as an entrepreneur, position your business, you know, build a very strong brand networking. How do you do your network? How strong is your brand? What are you doing to make your brand become one of the strongest in the market? It doesn't matter if 100 people are doing the same thing as you. What are you doing differently? What are you doing differently? So if A can do it, you can also do it, you know? So you need to prepare yourself. You need to position your brand, even as a professional. Position your CV. Go to your LinkedIn profile. look at what you're putting there. You know, how are you positioning yourself? How often do you go there? How often do you try to understand what's happening in the market? How often do you go to seminars? Do you go to conferences? Do you talk to people in the industry? You know, network. Today, you know, we are all talking about technology, artificial intelligence, you know, and you need to use that. Social media, you need to use it, you know, and if you don't do that, you're not going to be seen. And as mothers, we know, you know, the youngsters, how are they using social media? They do it in a very impressive way. And we also need to learn, and we also need to develop ourselves in the same, you know, way they are doing. So mothers, as I said, Grace had said most of the things that I wanted to say, you know, which worked for her and can work for you. And as an HR professional, I'm telling you, you can. I'm very proud that you have already joined this. You have already joined this mentorship, because this is the beginning. And after that, you need to be in a position of walking in your own faith. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm open for questions.
Ladies, mothers, I hope we're using our emoticons. This has been also a very insightful session. Thank you so much, Anicia. Please feel free to connect with both of them on LinkedIn. I think that they've talked. Anicia talked about networking and improving your network. So start by connecting with them. So thank you very much, Grace and Nelson. This is the time for questions, right? So please raise your hand or use the chat box if you want to. If you want to speak, you can raise your hand. We'll allow you speak. And you know, firstly, this is a safe space. You don't think that any question you have may be stupid, or somebody may look down on your question. If you've had challenges with negotiation and you just want to ask maybe some of the things they've mentioned, you've tried, but it didn't work for you, and you just want to get thoughts, please ask. I mean, it's someone that thinks she knows and doesn't know that is at fault. So this is the time to actually get the knowledge. So please, time for questions. Any? Or if you don't have questions, if you want to share some of the things you've learned. So, okay, now let's use the chat box, right? Tell me one thing you're taking home with, like one thing you want to do differently. What do you want to do differently after this session in terms of career advancement, negotiation?
I think somebody has something in the chat.
Yeah, and it says, you talked about being strong as a woman. What's the correlation between being strong and being stern? Recently, most of the feedback I've been getting is to learn to be stern. I believe there should be a balance. Can you elaborate on this? Who wants to?
Maybe Anicia.
I thought you wanted to go, Grace.
Okay, so let me take a shot. So being strong and being stern, I mean, with regards to negotiation. So really, I think, as I said, there are some non-negotiables that you know. And as I said, I mentioned mine. At this stage of my life, I have young kids. If it requires relocating just me, it's a non-negotiable. I'm not taking it. You need to be able to support my family to relocate. So that's a no-no for me. And I'm strong on that. Now, I have some gray areas. I mean, my previous company gave me a car that was fueled and all that. Now, if I'm moving on and you're not giving me a car, okay, you're giving me some form of car allowance, you're giving me some mode of transportation. You know, I'm getting other benefits. It might not really be the basic salary. You know, there are other things I may look. There are opportunities for professional development, you know, rise through the ranks in the organization. You know, it may be something, even though you're not giving me a very high salary, I may look at some other benefits or some other things which makes the organization attractive for me to move. So it's not about, okay, if you're not giving me a 50% or 100% raise on my current salary, I am not moving, you know. So there are certain areas, and it all boils down to wisdom and discernment. Trust me, a company that I may not be willing to move to, there is another person who, I mean, that is their breakthrough, or that is their hallelujah moment. They just want to move, and that is it. So it all boils down to your personal experiences, your personal values. Trust me, some people are not in for, you know. Let me share a personal experience. So there was this person I told in my very first company. I told somebody that, okay, should the company, or should your car break down, or should you not have a car? The company gives you a car. Should you not have a car, the company gives you a certain amount of money every day, you know, for transportation. The person was like, oh yeah, for me, I think I'd rather take the money instead of the car. I'm like, this person, I really, because having the car to me was much more valuable. I mean, you have the car over the weekend. Should I have an emergency? I have a car at my disposal, but I can use. But he said, no, he doesn't want the car. Give me the money. Probably he's a guy, so he has more use of the money. But I am a lady. I want the car because it's the same. On my way to work, I can drop my kids in school. You know, flexibility. So it means, you know, some things mean different people to different things mean different. What was it? I don't even know. I mean, it means different things to different people, you know. So don't have it at the back of your mind that, okay, Grace did this and it's worked for her. So by all means, if the organization is not giving me a 50% raise, I am not. As Anisia said, if you're looking at working in the development space in this era of President Trump's stop work order, nobody is going to give you that amount you saw me quoting. They don't have it. They don't have it. They've laid people off because they're working on a lean budget. So you can't say that mindset you had that, oh, you have to give me this amount in USD. If you don't give me, I'm not moving. No, times, and you need to check the times and seasons. Yes. So
and adding into what Grace was saying, remember when I said, look at the full package. Don't look at the amount only. You need to understand the benefits. Exactly as she was saying, you know, if the benefits fulfill what you need now, even if what comes into your account, it's not what you were looking for, but imagine you've got either a car allowance or a car, you've got medical aid, you've got a pension fund, you know, you will somehow have it in benefits, not in amounts, but that responds to what you're looking for. So you have to create balance and understand what is most important. Remember the priorities I spoke about. This is one of the priorities. You need to have priorities. You either prioritizing your budget, not your career, or vice versa. Negotiate. It's all a matter of negotiation. Okay. And I'm seeing a question here, how do you negotiate in an organization with a salary scale in place per position? Normally, companies do have a salary pay scale for every position. You negotiate it anyway. You go there and you negotiate. Look first, where are you positioned in terms of KPIs? Are you a good professional? Are you in a good moment of going back and negotiating? Because if you are a poor performer, what are you trying to negotiate? I actually want to get rid of yourself. I just can't because I'm following procedures and the law, you know, if you are a poor performer. But if you are an exceptional performer, you can come back and negotiate with me, you know, bring facts, bring the emails, the well-done emails, you know, bring the feedback that you have in one-on-ones with your bosses and just negotiate. The no, it's certain, you know. The yes is the uncertain one. And most of the times we don't get it because we are afraid of the uncertain one. Get the right moment. You are flying in your career. Look at how are the financials of the organization. If everything is good, go back and negotiate your salary. Take, you know, your KPIs, take facts that you are a talent, that you are extremely performing, and negotiate. Do it, yeah. Respectfully tell them you have a non-disclosure agreement with your current company. Just do it. Negotiate. Remember, know your value. You start from there, knowing your value. If you know your value, if you know what you're doing, remember you've got a value chain. And then if a value chain does a circle, where are you? Are you in the beginning? Are you at the top of your value chain, or are you decreasing? Negotiations are done at the top of your value chain. And when you reach the top of your value chain, go back and negotiate. Go back and negotiate. They will tell you, we HR, we like telling you beautiful stories. We are going to tell you beautiful stories, you know, that we don't have money, the company is not going to a good moment, that we will see. You come in July, we say we'll see in October. You have to talk to your boss, and. But you know what? Go to your direct line manager, talk to your direct line manager, do the proposal, start by yourself, because we managers, not all of us think in increasing the salary of our team members. Most of us are just, we just think in ourselves. I just want salary for myself, you know, I want to be promoted, I want to get a better salary, and. You know, Africans, we lack leaders that think in their teams. We female are even worse. I promise you, we are even worse. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. In the absence of any other question, I just want to, you know, just add to some of the things they've mentioned, right? One thing about, you know, pay is it's called total rewards. It's beyond what you take home. There are a lot of other things. I've seen people negotiate their leave days. I've seen people negotiate their health insurance. I've seen some people I've seen someone, I learned it from a previous colleague who was senior to me. He left and said, okay, he wanted, let's say, 200,000 naira, for example. And they're like, okay, they have 190. And he's saying, okay, what matters to me right now, my wife is pregnant. I want to be on the highest health insurance package, because this person had lost a child before. So he wanted the best hospital. So the health insurance that can take that hospital was platinum. It was not at the level that they were giving platinum, but they negotiated platinum, right? So for you, if you are a single person, you really don't care about health insurance. But for some, they care about health insurance. So I'm telling you, I have negotiated platinum. It's a it has to be the highest package because I have kids. So I'm saying, sometimes you see that health bill that you may think you are earning times 2, but the company is paying a lot on your health insurance. So you can't negotiate that. You can negotiate leave. What else? You can negotiate everything. You can I'm very lucky with my work days. I work for a financial institution where every day they have to go to work, right? And they told me this is a fully on-site role, maybe partially hybrid. And I'm like, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to have a conversation with you. It has to be hybrid. And the hybrid cannot be more than 2 days. So for me, even if you are bringing millions, I can't go to work every day. I can't. It's not like I don't have the ability to go to work every day. I can go twice a week, but I don't want to. And it matters to me. So I had to tell my director, I said, this matters to me. You can give me the money, but if you insist that I come every day, then I'm going to resign. And it has happened before. I can't. So I'm just saying, you can negotiate those kind of things as well. Because for me, the TIFE I'm going to be spending, you can give me the money, I'm going to lose it in that TIFE, right? So you can do. So my point is, as an individual, do your maths. I was telling someone for negotiation, what is your cost of living? There's some money that looks big, but it's not big in reality. Where are you? What stage are you in your life? So I was telling a colleague, right, how much do you spend? Okay, you have a kid. How much is school fees? What is your genuine? It's not that you would collect a money that you're working so hard and you're taking loans at the end of the month. If your salary cannot, and I'm not saying go and live large and say, oh, my salary is not enough. What is your cost of living? And based on that, you're able to say, does this work for me? And you need to add your savings to it. There was a time I actually had to leave a job because I realized I was happy, but at the end of the 3rd week, I'm already begging my husband for money. Why am I now working? And I cannot take care of myself. I'm always asking for advance every single time. So my point is I spoke with someone, he says, yeah, you need to go, even though you love the job. So think about yourself. So what works for Anicia, right? Her own standard of living may not be your own standard. And the stage she is in her life, you may have a baby that you need a better health package, right? So, and I used to look at even immunization package. I was that slow. Can it take this one that they're always asking me to pay for? Because after I had my first, I knew I had to pay for one big immunization. So I'm checking, is it Leadway that you use? Does it have it? Because I don't want to pay for it, right? So I'm just saying, negotiate based on where you are in your life and what works for you. Don't use another person's stuff to work. So money, I feel money should be a big deal for you. But if it is not, please, if it's car like Grace, go for it. And if it's for me, my flexibility, go for it. And I tell my people, I have a coaching business. So if you're going to take me and you say I cannot coach other people, then I'm not going to take the job. It's not when I come that you will come and say, no, you need to stop it. Your salary, the money you are paying me, no matter how big it is, and I need to do my coaching 6 to 8 p.m. and I do it every day. I don't take your work hours. So sometimes you might also need to negotiate those kind of things if you have a side hustle. And if you work with a multinational, some organizations will say you can't do that. So please negotiate everything. Thank you very much. I hope you've gotten value. Please use the chat box and tell us what you've learned beyond the question as we round off. Have a nice...
I think there was a question about how do we turn down the request of submitting payslip. So I responded that you just tell them you have a non-disclosure agreement with your current company, hence you cannot share your payslip. And most people would just leave you alone, because really, if I have an NDA with you, you wouldn't expect me to go share some things of your company out there. So it's the same way if I have an NDA with another company and I tell you I have an NDA, so I cannot share something of theirs with you. You should be able to understand me. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
True. That point is also very tricky in Nigeria, because for me, I don't share my payslip. But I've been at a scenario where it's a financial institution. So what I do is, and I've had a candidate say I won't share it, right? I always say, and for that organization, I don't know, it's one part of their, I don't agree with it, but it's maybe the reality. So I don't share it, but I don't also tell you what I earn at the beginning. So negotiate based on your expectation. If you now see my payslip and see that I'm earning 1/4 of it, it's none of your business. I've had a job where I was earning X and I said I wanted 2.5X. And I was like, and they were like, but you're earning X. I'm like, I want 2.5X. And they sent me an offer with 1.5X and I declined, right? I declined. So yes, I'm earning X, but I want 2.5X. You are seeing that that's what I earn. So I would advise you negotiate based on your expectation. Don't tell them what you earn. If they not see your earning time divided by 10, we've agreed. And if you come back and say no, it doesn't matter what I earn. This is where my value is in the market. So if you are negotiating, try to avoid what I currently earn. When you're talking, what do I earn? I'm sorry, I can't share that with you for now. But this is what I'm expecting. Can you meet it or can you not meet it? If you cannot meet it, even from LinkedIn, I'm sorry. I just tell them, I don't send any CV. Can you pay? If you cannot pay, let's just part. I'll give you candidates I'll give my friends that can take it. So stick to your expectation and based on where you think you are. And sometimes your expectation may even be lesser than their pay. So sometimes be very careful. You might think, oh, I'm collecting a lot of money, but no, they are paying your mates ×2. That's happened to me before. So sometimes also don't be forward with, I want 1 million, and you think 1 million is big. No. So start by asking what their budget is. If it's now.
Exactly. And from a nature perspective, let me tell you that when we ask you for your pay slip, as you were saying, that there are pay scales in every position, and then when we look at your pay slip, maybe you are way below what we're paying. We are going to put you at the beginning of the pay scale. But for that position, we wanted to pay, let's say, in the middle, the other, your peers, your equity in the organization are at 80% of the pay scale. We are going to put you at the beginning, and you will think that you're getting a lot of money, but because you don't know what's waiting for you when you start working. So go with what Yewande was saying. You have your expectations, and you don't have to share. If you're not comfortable sharing your expectations, have your expectations for yourself. And when we ask you what are your expectations, you simply tell us. I told you when I was doing my presentation, you simply tell us, you know what, I believe you do have a pay scale for the position. I will await for your offer if I'm the successful incumbent, period. You know, we will take it. We don't like it, HR, but we will have to take it.
Very correct. I've had people insist, I'm not going to tell you my expectation. Tell me what. And yeah, insist. Tell me what you want.
I've had that experience as well. So, I mean, the organization asked me what my salary expectation is. And I said, can I know the range you have for this offer? And I mean, they didn't respond to that email, but I went ahead with the interview anyway, first stage, second stage. And then finally, I drew her attention that she hasn't responded to that question I asked. And when she gave me the range, hello, it was 5 times what I was earning. Imagine I had mentioned 3 times. Imagine that day. In fact, she came to me asking me for some document. And I needed to do small shakara. I told her that the timeline she's asking me for these documents, I don't think I can meet it. She should wait because she needed my references and all that. I told them that my people are not available. They are senior industry players. They've traveled, so she needs to give me at least a week. But when she mentioned the salary they were going to pay her, I said, Auntie, I can get to those rates. I can't give it to you. I can't get it. We settled at around 7 times what I was earning in my previous organization. So imagine I just shot myself in the foot by mentioning a certain low amount, you know. So
and I've also shot myself in the foot once before, right? Where I was coming from, I asked for like 2x, and I thought, oh yeah, I mean 2x is not bad. But I was coming to a role where I was doing times 7 of it. I was operating at a higher capacity in a startup, right? So let's say before I was like a manager doing manager work, right? So I was thinking, okay, but the role I was playing was like senior manager. And I realized all the senior managers in my organization are earning 2x of what I'm currently earning that I thought, okay, was good. But I'm telling you what I did. After 6 months, my confirmation, I didn't complain because obviously I'm HR. I know what everybody's earning. I didn't complain and say, oh, you guys cheated me, because it's like, did I pay you less? No, they didn't pay me less, right? At 6 months, I operated in that capacity of a senior manager. I exceeded their expectation. When it was time for confirmation, I sat down with my boss. I said, this doesn't work. I didn't say because you are paying somebody else. I said, I have done this. I am not operating at the capacity which you hired me for. And it was clear. I had a role expansion. So I'm saying, even if you've made that mistake, go with value. Don't come with, oh, you know, it's not fair. Everybody's earning. No. And then because my role had expanded, guess what I did? I was expecting 2x. But I told them 2.2x, you know, because I thought they were going to negotiate down. I was shocked when he agreed. My boss agreed and was like, I don't want to lose you. So whatever you say, I will give it to you. When the finance people saw the letter, they were like, what's happening between this boss that I know, who is... Anyway, the point is, even if you've made that mistake, it's not too late. I'm just saying to go back with value and not with entitlement.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope you've learned a lot. People are just quiet in the comment section.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah. Please feel free to drop your comments. Yeah, value. This is where we say goodbye and think about what we've said. We have a weekly challenge that will be shared on the group. Please practice it. Some of the things you've learned today, practice it and go back to the drawing board if you need to. Have a nice weekend ahead. Bye-bye. Thank you, Anicia. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you too for having us. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.